Wow, we had great weather today. Great day to get started. You know, guys, no bold predictions from me. I guess I'll just open it up for questions. Talk to me.
What did you see from Trey Turner in this?
You know, he's got a good demeanor. He's a quick study. He's a professional. He's been around, but you know, much too early to tell. You know, just a one-day sample.
Any pup guys, Mike?
None.
Like when the small samples, but you get Melvin Ingram out this week. What was it about him that made you guys want to go out, grab him, bring him in?
We've seen him a lot over the years, you know, respectful of his work, body of work. But not only that, we were familiar with him in the draft. You know, he's one of those guys that fit the profile. We studied him and got to know him through the draft process. And usually those are the guys that we end up doubling back to and having an interest in when they're available in free agency. So it makes the process an easy one. Also had the opportunity, I think, in 2017 when we coached the Pro Bowl, we had him down in Orlando and really got to know him some in that setting as well. So we felt really comfortable that he was going to be an easy fit as a man and as a player.
You didn't hesitate to throw Kendrick Green right in there. How has he looked? And
again, a one-day sample. I mean, you know, we can write a story if we want, but we thought it was important, man. Those guys that we're trying to get starts in the Hall of Fame game to get as much work as we can. There's no indication of where they are in terms of their career. You can label him a starter if you choose. He's a starter for the Hall of Fame game, if that means anything.
what about Kevin Dotson? No reps today for him?
No, we were taking care of him. He got a day or two. He should be fine. I think he, you know, tweaked a little something, but it's not anything of any concern whatsoever, to be honest with you, from a big picture standpoint.
The two ACL guys, where's kind of the status of them? Are they 100% push in the stand?
Man, both guys have worked their tails off, man. It's great to see them back out here and working. We'll just continue to be thoughtful of the reps that we give them. Today was a big day for them to get back out and put jerseys on and be with their teammates, but we'll be thoughtful about it through the journey and have good days and continually to push them forward towards September 12th.
Mike, did you anticipate Vince's retirement and then maybe talk about what he's meant to the Steelers over the years?
No, I did not, but man, Vince is just a quality man first and quality football player second. Man, his passion for the game, the spirit in which he went about what he did, it's a loss for us, for sure. But that's the game. We respect the game in that way. We wish him nothing but the best in terms of how he moves forward. But we're appreciative of the work and service that he gave us for 8+ years.
Mike, how do you feel about your inside linebacker depth now after you found out about that?
I feel great today. It's day one. You know, we hadn't suffered any attrition. We hadn't made any mistakes that make you feel bad. You know, this thing is a process. And so, you know, I won't have a lot of strong feelings about any of the circumstances today. It's just much too early in the journey.
You guys also released Dave since the last time we talked to you. What all transpired there? Did that catch you off guard at all?
It was just, you know, health related, and we did the things that we had to do. I know we released a statement regarding it. I know he's spoken on it, so I don't have a lot to add. It was really pretty cut and dry.
Mike, most times teams don't replace the whole line, you know, different guys in different spots, and have a new coach. Pretty atypical. Is there something in particular that leads you to believe you guys can pull that off?
You know, I mean, we don't have the bar set real high. We were last in the league in rushing. So we got nowhere to go but up from certain aspects of that. It's not something that we fear, no.
I think you'll say not to read into it too much, but 25 was your slot guy today. Is he kind of one of your candidates there?
Exactly what you said. You know, he'll probably get the start in Canton, and you can write a story about that.
All the years that you've had with Ben Roethlisberger, this is the first time he's had to learn all new verbiage, all new formations, all new play calls. That process, what has that revealed about him? What do you think?
It's not all new verbiage, all new concepts. It's not. It's really not. Matt's done a really good job, a thoughtful job of easing the transition. Sure, there's some new things, and sure, there's some new words, but it's not a blank slate. And Ben's been on the job long enough where I don't want to make that to seem something significant when, you know, it's an adjustment. But by the time we're able to play, I doubt it's going to be anything of any significance.
Mike, how difficult is it for the rookie center to make the calls? Does that come first over the physical part, or how does that usually work out?
You know, these guys come to work, man. You know, particularly when they've been exposed to some of the things that he's been exposed to, man. He's played Big Ten football. He's been in some circumstances. And so, you know, we'll see what the process does to him, but not a bad issue or a bad start from today's perspective at all. You know, this is our first day working in pads in a training camp-like setting, but we've been working extremely hard, man, dating back to the spring since we acquired them. Classrooms, Zooms, and so forth. And so he just had an opportunity to show some of that today.
Mike, in the last couple of hours, the NFL said that depending on COVID and things along those lines, unvaccinated players, if a game is canceled because of those players, it will be a forfeit, things like that. I know you guys have spoke about just how much importance it is for you guys to have your players vaccinated. You guys said you were tops in the league. Just what does that do for you guys as an organization, knowing you're so far ahead in that way?
We just checked that box. We really kind of moved on, to be honest with you. And that's why we wanted to be so proactive about addressing it. So we're not spending a whole bunch of time thinking or talking about it. So it's a non-issue for us, thankfully, due to the efforts and willingness of our guys. And so we're focused on the football.
Mike, only three times in the last 30 years has a team started 5 new guys and 5 new spots on the offensive line. Once the team won 12 games, and once the team won 11 games. What has to happen with those 5? Is it chemistry? Is it...
You know, I don't worry about how you led into that. We're just, you know, we're here working. We got capable guys. You know, there's an expectation here that those guys are going to deliver, to be quite honest with you. I'm not going to be surprised when they do. As a matter of fact, we expect them to. And so, you know, you can write a rag to riches tale if you so choose, like we're starting at ground zero or in the basement, if you will. But we don't see it that way, and we definitely don't expect our results to be elementary.
Along those lines, how much does it help to have the extra week of training camp when you are potentially having 5 new guys at 5 new positions?
You know, big picture, you know, it's probably not really significant. Today it is, because we're one of 2 teams working, so we're excited about it.
TJ's going into the last year of his deal. Sometimes guys like that will sit out a little bit or maybe not even come right away. What does it say to you that he's here despite that circumstance? And how confident are you that's going to get him?
It doesn't tell me anything that I didn't already know about TJ Watt. You know, what can you say about him that hadn't been said? I'm sure that process will run its course and we'll have something to report.
Two not practicing or not being much in teams, that just revving them up or anything?
Yep, exactly.
Anything else?
Obviously early, but how do you envision the reps being split with Ingram at outside linebacker?
You know, it's really much too early. Right now we're just teaching him and seeing how quickly he can learn, and that's probably going to dictate reps. What we don't want to do is waste game reps on anyone. So his level of preparedness, his ability to execute detail, particularly at the early stages of development, is going to determine how much he participates or when he participates.
Did you have much of a relationship with Trey Turner before you brought him in?
Nothing more than a mutual respect and a nod. You know, we had a preseason relationship with those guys annually when he was in Carolina, and so you get an opportunity to get to know the guys, and particularly the significant guys. There's a guy that's played a lot of ball. You guys know that perennially we're at the LSU Pro Day, and so we probably had some exposure to him from that standpoint too.